And then I said, look, you're not going to be able to fit a Twizzler in there. And if you do, it's not coming out. Oh, we're recording. Welcome back to the show. This is episode 2. We got some good stuff planned. It's going to be just like last time. We're just going to shoot the shit. And I will say, from last episode, the only thing I would change so we don't get canceled, we need to stop referring black people, okay, to... It's just going to cause more problems. So we're going to try and tone that down.
I think that's probably a good idea.
I'm still stuck on the fact that the Twizzler was, with Brian, because that doesn't make any sense,
I know. I was trying to tell Brian, look, logistically it could work, but I don't want to risk it getting stuck.
Well, I wasn't asking for my own. I was my own questioning.
Were you asking for Garrett's sake?
I was just asking just in general. I was just curious of Keaton's opinion on it. Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna be less open to the whole Twizzler thing. At least take me to Chili's first.
Fair.
Well,
Chili's is always a good starter.
That's a given. We'd go to Chili's, even though the Twizzler thing's not going to happen. So
yeah, well, I hope so, because Chili's is amazing.
That is true.
What would you go as far as to say it's your number one?
I don't know about number one. If you were to ask me in the range of fast food or in the sit down restaurant section of it's not fast food, but it's not a big star restaurant, I think Chili's is probably close to number one at that point. But overall, if you're asking me on just an overall basis of food,
franchised restaurants,
yeah, Applebee's type level.
If we're talking about franchised ones, then it's probably top 5,
but not number one.
Cheesecake Factory's pretty high up there, just off of the fact that it's cheesecake. Food-wise, Cheesecake Factory drops a little bit.
I mean, listen, Chili's has cheesecake too.
Nah, but not like Cheesecake Factory.
No.
Have we ever tried the Chili's cheesecake?
Yeah, we did it. Remember? I don't know. Soup.
That's
has.
Right.
You and I have.
Yeah.
Though.
If I remember right, I did once, and that was it.
Yeah, I probably have once. I don't remember it that well.
But
it's
anyway.
Yeah. If
We're
you
asked
me,
sidetracked here on Chili's. I thought we were reviewing movies.
We got stuff coming down. But real quick,
it's called reviewing everything, and in this case, we're reviewing Chili's.
It's the hard R show. We rank and review everything. I'd say
that's
the price to quality ratio is pretty good. If someone just asked me about Chili's, that's what I would say. Is price to quality.
Yes, but I do want quantity. My 3 for $10 back.
Yeah, but if you ask me about Chili's, if you ask me on a deeper level, though, right, it's one of the only reasons I get up. The times that I've had there with the fellas are worth more than gold. It's more than just the food. It's a really beautiful place, and it's not a 3 for Jim. It's not 3 for Bob. It's not even 3 for you. It's 3 for me, damn it, and that's worth fighting for. So that's what I would say if you ask me about Chili's on a deeper, a real level. So it's the best restaurant ever.
The perfect way to describe Chili's.
It is. It just is. I mean, you don't go to Chili's and happen to have a waiter that just accidentally puts the blackberry syrup in your Dr. Pepper. They're the reason that just you keep going.
Yep, it's a beautiful place. Also, we now have a soundboard. So, and we are children, so hopefully this is probably going to get abused bad, but it's we have a soundboard now.
Also, since we're on the topic, Chili's, please sponsor us. We will do anything.
Chili's, we have 20 viewers max.
We eat at your restaurant at least once a week.
Yeah. Put your money where your mozzarella sticks are, Chili's, all right? Give us a chance.
No, don't talk about mozzarella sticks. I'm going to get freaking hungry over here.
You say that like we're gonna end up with the gold card, but that just doesn't happen.
Well, yeah, not if we act like it's not. A man can dream, a man can hope, Soupy.
I know.
It's like that article that somebody found out, depending on the location, that if you propose in a Chili's, that they will cater the wedding for free. That would be incredible. I would honestly do that just for the.
Do that though.
I'd do that just for the sake of getting the free catering.
Hopefully your wife likes Chili's as much as you will, Keaton.
Yeah, I hope so.
She's like, "Are you really doing this here now?" But babe, free Chili's at the wedding.
Yeah, you have to understand.
That is like a free expense. Like some people can't pay for the food at their wedding, so in this case, you propose, and it's like it's just a win-win.
Yes, but I don't think there's many girls out there that go, my dream is to get proposed to at Chili's.
I think you chose the wrong woman, because if she wishes to be proposed at a certain spot, instead of just the fact that, her man's proposing, I think you might have found somebody that's a little too picky.
Maybe, who knows? Women are we're all single. What the fuck do we know?
Nah, fair.
It's
I do that by choice. So
you say, okay, it might be slight choice. I don't. It's part choice, part lack of options.
You should put that in your dating profile. You have it on your make or break or whatever, or deal breaker. Just put you have to like Chili's.
A deal breaker is you have to like Chili's.
Yeah.
All right.
Who knows? That might be the thing that works out. Could be the best thing.
Yeah.
You never know.
I should honestly just change all my prompts to be Chili's related. Like, I want to make you feel like you're eating the original chicken crispers again. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If it wasn't for the fact that, I at some point possibly might sell, my home, I definitely would put that Chili's booth in. In replacement of the dining room table, I would put the booth in.
Yeah. For context, there's this meme. Somebody under their stairs, broke down the wall and put in a Chili's booth, and it was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
With a Chili's sign as well. It literally looked
not only the Chili's sign, they had the little payment computer.
Yeah, the little iPad.
The side on the table.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, go look at it again. It's actually hilarious.
I found out that they do that at Olive Garden too, like the little payment.
A lot of places
tablet. Yeah,
I think a lot of places have been doing it. Yeah.
I mean, heck, less people interaction, the better, I guess. That's actually probably a bad thing.
You also are a sit-down restaurant. Like, it's a waiter. Like, that's the type of job. But I get there's a convenience factor because of how many people pay with cards now, because cash is just non-existent.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we watched a movie on Thursday. It's gotten some pretty good, I'll say, publicity. The reviews are kind of memes. Like, the exact people who you'd think would hate it do hate it. And most people like it. And that's Daily Wire's Am I Racist? So, Brian, are you a racist?
Well, based off of what we learned in the movie, I guess so, because I'm not doing anything to, change my whiteness, as they said. If you're asking me on a personal level, I'd still probably say maybe just a little bit. But
what if I asked you on a deeper level?
Well, if you're asking me on a deeper level, the answer would just be straight up yes.
Yeah. It's it was actually I've said this before, I'm kind of checked out on the Daily Wire as far as like the news and the commentary go over the past couple of years for a handful of reasons. But this was pretty funny. The theater we were in, everybody was laughing. Like, it was Nothing really fell flat. People really liked it.
I mean, some theaters had people walking in and pulling the fire alarm.
Yeah, I saw that in California.
Yeah.
I actually saw one. There was a theater that they had to, it was in Sacramento. They had to actually stop showing the movie because the management got threats.
Yeah, so, I heard stuff like that. I heard one, there was people standing, like employees stopping people from walking in the theater that were going to see the movie.
Yeah. It's just so amazing, the loving and tolerant left when stuff like this comes out.
And then we wonder why it gets a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Exactly. The other funny thing too is like it's not a hit piece at all. It is purely, hey, we're hiring these people and letting them talk. So it's, you could call it an expose, but it's definitely not like they didn't just make a documentary completely shitting on them. Like it's who's that guy they keep relating Matt Walsh to, like Borat? It's
yes,
satire, but still informative and just letting them be, and that's what's funny.
Yeah.
The what's hilarious is like even during a lot of, I mean the I don't know, interviews or like just social groups that they have or whatever that they put in the movie, a lot of them caused their own downfall in it, and it was just hilarious. Like he was just there, to ask questions, and obviously, he was joking with it a couple times, but I mean, they'd respond to it in the way that you would expect and just cause their own downfall.
Yeah, that I still think the crown of the whole movie was when Robin DiAngelo straight up paid the black dude, the black producer.
Yeah,
it was too good. Not only that, the person picks up the camera and follows her to her purse.
Yeah.
I also like how, because I don't know if you know this or not, Keaton. So you know how they paid her $15,000 to meet with her?
Right.
So after she found out that it was a Daily Wire production, Matt Walsh just, in her mind, trolling her and everything like that. She she came out and said that she actually donated the money. But a bunch of people were sitting there and they're like, well, did you donate it? Were you going to donate it before you found out? Or did you just now donate it because you found out that the money you got is from the Daily Wire, from Matt Walsh,
Yeah. Because I think when they pitched the idea, he didn't change his name. They just changed the name of the documentary to like Shades of Justice.
Yeah.
But he straight up was like, hi, I'm Matt Walsh. And she just had no idea. Because they're in that bubble, they don't really know.
I don't think he said that his name was directly Matt Walsh.
I don't think he said Matt Walsh.
I think he just said Matt. Yeah.
He just said Matt, yeah. And then she also said that she saw that he was wearing a wig. Like, she was like, yeah, I could tell he was wearing a wig, but I just didn't think anything of it. And, like, all these things. So,
people wear wigs all the time.
A bunch of her accounts on social media.
Yeah, I think they're all taken down, aren't they?
I know her Twitter is at least.
Probably
a majority she released the statement and then took it all down, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's wild, but hey, they are grifters just like anyone else is a grifter. And at the end of the day, your beliefs, and maybe this is not true for everyone, but beliefs are worth something in monetary value. Like the one chick whose kids were with the Sesame Street performer or whatever, $50,000.
Yeah, just to talk about
for like a couple of minutes. Like,
and you can tell she was not happy to be there in the first place.
Yeah,
yeah, she didn't seem that interested in the conversation at all.
They just saw the money and went, "Yep, good enough for me."
Yeah, so and that's the whole point. Like, part of grifting is you stand to gain stuff. And where I have noticed is I have a weird relationship with the app Letterbox, but there's an issue where it's like, it's supposed to be, hey, this app is critic free. It's just fans. But the thing is it's like film school, annoying kid, theater kid fans. So I have kind of narrowed it down to that app is only worth using if your friends who maybe you don't see that often also use it and you trust their ideas. Because if you just click on a movie, it is no better than like a Rotten Tomatoes critic section. It's people were losing their minds on Am I Racist? As like a 2.2 stars out of 5 on it currently.
Well, the funny thing is it's not even in my opinion, it was very much like What is a Woman, right? There was moments where they'd show like scenes from one interview and then jump to another interview, or they'd be talking to one person and then they'd jump to another person and then go back to the other person a little bit here and there. But in my opinion, none of it was like that's not the point of the movie. Isn't to be an actual like movie, really. It's more to just shine light on kind of some of these ideas that people have and just kind of shine light on how stupid a lot of it sounds when you really think about it and like just look at it. And so I think it's funny that people are like criticizing this like it was as an actual movie, because I don't think that's what this is.
Yeah, as a movie, or claiming that he was attacking them and bullying them, which I read a lot of people were saying. Yeah,
I think that's a very stupid statement as well. I don't think any of it was necessarily bullying. Like, I think there were scenes where it almost felt, in my opinion, almost like The Office, where it was like kind of uncomfortable because he's like in the first little bit when he's in that group and he keeps interrupting. You're like, oh my gosh, like because that he's getting under their skin and everything like that, right? But it was at least funny, and like I don't think it's a bad, like these people aren't good people either, in my opinion. The fact that she's sitting there with a bunch of white people saying, I don't feel safe in this.
It's like, yeah. Toward the beginning of the movie, it's like
give an answer as to why she's not safe.
Yeah. That was my main criticism out of the theater, was like, you should, it's only fair, you should have to define what you mean by threatened.
Yeah. You
can't just say you're threatened when you're sitting in a room full of pussies.
I feel threatened, but $30,000, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Like that's how the entire thing felt after the fact.
Yeah. I'll risk my life for $30,000, and the entire time I'm going to be criticizing you guys for anything that you feel like might have been racist in your life. Like, it's...
Yeah. I know it's kind of hacky to do the whole, well, what if the roles were reversed? But think about it. If it was a big struggle circle and it was me and everyone else was black, and I was like, just so you know, before I start this seminar, I feel threatened and I'm in danger purely because you guys are black, which is literally what she said in reverse.
Yeah.
She was purely threatened because the people in the room were white.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa. I would be crucified if I said that.
And not only that, not a single person that was in the circle even responded to her. They all just took it.
Yeah. They just took the beating.
Well, like, yeah, because they aren't there because they, like, keep in mind, she's not there because these people are actually racist. She's there because these people feel like they're racist, or feel like America, because it was once racist, they feel like they owe something to that community, and so they go to try and like right the wrongs of the past, when in reality it's like that's not how it is anymore. Like, yeah, it sucks. America used to be racist. We did actually put this certain demographic of people to a point where we didn't even really consider them a full person. I mean, crying out loud. But it's not like that anymore. And I think it's what I find really funny, and this was something that I thought about after watching the movie, is so much about America focuses on like racism towards black people, but there's literally racism still like towards Asians. Like the fact that there's certain schools that won't accept Asians because they're really smart and they can get into a lot of schools easily. So they have a lot of Asian students, and now they're like, they won't accept them because they have too many of them. Like that's
Asians were pretty much the one of the disenfranchised groups of the whole affirmative action programs.
Yeah.
Which up until recently were around for a long time. They only recently got rid of that. But yeah, it was whites and Asians got rejected from schools at the highest rates. And it's like, whoa. We all know that you hate white people. But what did they have to do with any of this? Oh, the reason is because before, in a normal world, getting into school is merit-based. And they score really high on everything. So when you go to a place like Yale or Harvard, there's going to be a lot of Asians because they scored really high and got in based on merit. But they didn't like that because they are actually the racists. So
I think that's crazy. I think the movie really highlights well the fact that these people that are taking advantage of people that feel like they owe something to the Black community for previous actions that, white people have done to them, and just shown how crazy and predatory that group really is.
I think it's just hilarious at how they just label white is racist. There's no changing that whatsoever. But then it's like, okay, how many other countries in the world are not white and are of a different color and do a lot worse than things that we have done and are still doing things to people in general today? Like, it's not just white people. It's people can be racist. Not everybody or just white people is racist. It just doesn't make any sense anymore.
Yeah. Well, I also think it's really funny how they never mention the fact that it's like, we had slaves, but it wasn't white people going to Africa just walking up to somebody being like, well, you're a slave now. It was literally Africans selling Africans to America. Like, it was their own, for a lot of time, it was their own people that were just selling people off.
And only 3% of them came to mainland North America. 90%, 3% here. 90% of the Atlantic slave trade went to Brazil. 7% went to the Caribbean islands, like the Bahamas and Haiti and stuff like that. And then the 3% was here.
Yeah. So
little known tidbit that they don't teach you in high school for obvious reasons. But
yeah,
the movie set out to do two things. Number one, it's a comedy. That's what people need to remember, is this movie is a comedy. And number two, it's an expose. It did both of those things really well. It was quite funny, and it was really telling and showed people what's going on. I don't think that this one is as currently relevant as What is a Woman. I think What is a Woman is a more important film, but still really funny, and it's pretty telling. So I think it achieved what it was setting out to do anyways.
Yeah, I agree with that. I was gonna ask, was there any moment that you guys specifically liked from the movie the most?
I really liked when he was sitting down with the Nigerian auto shop owner in the South.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was super funny.
You say that, right? But not only that, it makes me think of the What is a Woman when he went to Africa.
Yeah.
And was asking like native tribes. And both times they looked at him dumbfounded that he even would come up with the question in the first place.
Yep. They looked at him and said, "Why are you gay?
You are gay." Like that's just the meme.
Yeah, so that was really good. I also really liked and the liberals hated this, by the way, when he reenacted the Juicy Smollett fake attack that was entirely staged. And
oh my gosh, that scene was so funny. He's like,
yeah,
and he was like talking about like going and just get it started just from him wanting to go get like Subway.
Yep, and he punches him with the Subway.
Yeah, and then they like show him and it like pans out and he's got all the Subway toppings like on the floor in the snow, like laying next to him.
And then there was a noose around my neck. Like, dude.
Yeah.
So you know, it's
sorry, rope. It was a rope around his neck.
I didn't know if they were gonna reference this specifically, but in the real fake story, because obviously that entire thing never happened. It was fake, and he got in trouble for it. But in Juicy's original story, like what actually ended up happening, his Subway sandwich, he got ganged up and attacked, allegedly, right? But the Subway sandwich he had stayed completely intact and fine. So it's like, okay, so you're sitting there, you just got attacked, your sandwich is completely fine, and you just have bleach on you and a rope on you.
A rope around your neck that you didn't realize got there during the tussling.
It makes me think of the Amber Heard when she's like, and my dog stepped on a bee, and then she's like,
yep,
all crying face.
Like,
and in Juicy's story, when they find out what actually happened, the two MAGA guys who attacked him, he hired two black guys to do it. And
oh my gosh,
they might have been immigrants. I'd have to check on that. But yeah, he hired two black guys to do it for his story. I was like, just imagine you're one of those guys. You're like, you want me to do what?
I mean, I'm getting paid to beat you up. Like, okay, I guess.
You're like, why do I have to wear the hat?
That deal.
What
about you, Snoopy? Is there a moment that you liked the most of the movie?
Well, for one, it set it up after the fact. After he went and yelled at Frank. And then they're sitting at the diner after the fact, and his uncle's just joking with him.
Oh,
like yeah, nothing, Uncle Frank. Like nothing just happened.
Yeah, that seminar at the end was crazy.
Yeah, I love what he's like, all right, well, we need to whip ourselves. And he just pulls out the box of like all these items. Like there's a bunch of whips, a bunch of like wooden spatulas. Like
I have to agree with him on the statement of like, maybe I went a little too far. Wait, why are these people willing to whip themselves? Like,
yep.
Yeah.
What do you mean these people are willing to whip themselves?
Props to the two people that got up and left.
Yeah. I think that's fair. I really like that scene. I also loved, so first off, right in the beginning, when the waitress comes over and she's like, would you like more coffee? And he's like, yes, please. And she's like, how do you take it? And then he's like questioning whether or not he should just say black because she's black.
You can't say black.
Yeah, you just can't say black. So I thought that was super funny. But I think the one that really, like, it's not my favorite for the reasoning of it being funny. Personally, like, I think this is my favorite because it just shows kind of how crazy all of it is when he sits down at the at the table with all the women. I can't remember what that like group is called.
It's called Race to Dinner.
That's it. Yeah. So when he went and did that, I think that was probably one of my favorite moments because the fact that the things that they were saying, I was like, what is, like, this is crazy.
Yep. And they mean it.
Yep. I mean, they're talking about Americans being Nazis. And then the fact that he got all of them to toast to being racist.
Well,
was super funny.
In that scene, so the two people that ran the dinner, one was Hispanic and one was black. The black chick lifts up her glass and goes, yeah, I'm racist. Wait, no, I'm not, and sets it back down. Like, that changes anything? No, you are.
Yeah.
You've brought all of these people to this dinner to just bully them.
That was a little bit of a Freudian slip because she instinctively did it, meaning that she's just going along with the flow. It's like, whoa. I thought you really care about this. How did you mess that up? So yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, and then obviously the fact that he kept dropping a bunch of dishes while he.
Oh gosh, yeah, they were getting so mad
on purpose. You know it was
that in like those scenes. That's where I was like, it was kind of like, it felt kind of like The Office. Like the episode Scott's Tots when he tells all those kids he's going to pay for their college tuition. And then you're just awkwardly like watching as they're like thanking him and everything like that, and then he has to tell them afterwards that he actually can't. You're like, this is so embarrassing to watch. That's how I felt during that, but it was still really funny because he's trolling people that are saying just some crazy things.
Yeah. So, where should we put Am I Racist in the tier list?
Let's see. I think we put Reagan at what? Lower.
Reagan is an A. So just as a refresher, S, A, B, C, D, F.
I mean, I think it's better. I actually enjoyed it more than I enjoyed Reagan.
Yeah. And the other thing too is we got to remember
comedy is the thing. So the enjoyment factor might seem a little bit higher.
Yeah.
If you're going off of like actual story wise, Reagan had a good story to it.
Yeah, obviously. I think Reagan, if we're looking at story, I mean, Reagan actually had a story. I think Am I Racist was a little less story and more of like storytelling.
Yeah, well, it's a mockumentary.
Yeah.
As far as genre goes. Yeah. And that's why I like tier lists, is we don't have to sit here and figure out if Reagan or Am I Racist is a better movie, because that's not how it works. We can just chuck it in a tier. So as far as mockumentaries goes, I think I'd put it in A. Or B, but probably A.
I think I'd probably put it in A.
I could agree with A.
Yeah, because A is like 7 to 8 out of 10 ballpark, and I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair for it.
So Brian brought up The Office. Did you guys see that they're rebooting The Office, but in Australia?
I saw some video about it. I didn't watch it because I don't care.
Yeah, it's not out yet. I think it comes out in October, but there is a trailer. So you know how they tried?
Can we do a live reaction to this?
Can we? I don't know if we'll get in trouble for playing a YouTube video. I know that happens, but
you probably could get in trouble for it.
I think because on EFAP, the only way you don't get in trouble for it is if you play it, or if you sit and pause it constantly. The other problem with this one is that it's by Amazon official, so that could be a problem.
Amazon would definitely go after people.
So, they'd go after our channel with 0 viewers. But
well, then at that point, they're just going for us. I don't know if we want that.
Yeah, I watched it earlier. It is horrendously bad. They They gender swapped Michael and Jim. And then it's just like, yes, the original show was kind of cringe sometimes, but it made up for it most of the time because with actual comedy and actual jokes. This just the full trailer is just bad all the way through. Like it's not funny.
I mean, I'm looking at pictures of it right now, and just the pictures alone look really like The Office was already kind of a bland. It's an office, right? It's like a documentary in an office, so it's not going to be this like flashy thing. But this just looks bland, depressing. Like this lady has like 6 Coke Zero cans on her desk.
Yeah. And this is kind of like parlayed from what we were talking about last week. It's creative bankruptcy. Like, why does it have to be The Office? You know?
And everybody has to reboot everything or just remake everything or make a live action of stuff.
Like, because they had the British one, right? I remember right. The British one was before the American one. And that was like the one with Ricky Gervais played Michael. This one
was first, right?
I think that was before the American one. I think the American one is the
American one's already a reboot of rehash of the British Office. So
this one, honestly, it looks worse. I'm interested to see because it's kind of like some of the Disney Star Wars stuff, Acolyte withholding. that the name alone ends up getting ratings. So I wonder how this is going to do for Amazon because it's the name.
I think it'll be huge for Amazon personally. I think The Office, as sad as it is to say it, is such a huge show.
Yeah, it's like the biggest show, I think.
I think it's one of the biggest shows at least. I've seen it. I liked it when I first watched it. Every time I see clips of it now, I actually enjoy it less and less. Every single time I see clips of it or more of it, it's immediately like it just keeps going down in my ranking of shows that I've seen because it just doesn't feel funny.
Office came out in that weird period before. So you had the golden era, which was the 80s and 90s, where you were allowed to be funny on TV. Like, that was totally cool. And now, you have TV now, which you can't because the studio will not greenlight anything that's actually funny because it's quote-unquote offensive or not politically correct or whatever. Office came out right in that middle area. So there was some stuff that was kind of edgy. Like, they would make fun of gays sometimes.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Or make race jokes with, like, Stanley and stuff. And you even juxtapose the original Office with Seinfeld. The more you watch stuff like this, like the new Office or even the old Office, the more and more it makes the 90s and 80s look way better. Which, yeah. I mean, that's just how it is.
I mean, I've weird state for sitcoms. Yeah, I've watched Seinfeld recently, and I actually think Seinfeld's hilarious because, yeah, it does. There are a lot of times where they make jokes about, gays or black people.
You were allowed to be funny back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's because everybody knew it was a joke, and nowadays everybody knows it's a joke. It's just the factor that they can go, "Oh, that was offensive. I need something to make up for it."
Yep. They attribute motive, which it makes zero logical sense. But yeah, if you make a joke, you're a bad person, and that's how it is.
Which I find really funny how it's like that, because I remember, like, I've watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I've been watching that a little bit recently. I mean, that started in 2005, but
yeah,
it was 16 seasons, so I think it ended fairly recently. I'm trying to...
Yeah, I think it did too. I think it's pretty... And that's one of the best ones, because in 2005, you were still allowed as well. Because that's also around the same time that How I Met Your Mother came out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, similar setup. The further they got along, maybe stuff changed, but definitely in those early years.
Okay.
Yeah, they were definitely allowed to be funny.
So yeah,
what I'm seeing is it's not ended.
Yeah.
No, so maybe
Sunny hasn't even ended yet. It's still running.
Well, good for them. That's actually, it's popular enough. Yeah, people really like it.
Like Supernatural, there's so many seasons. What do you mean?
Yeah, they're expecting to release the 17th season of Always Sunny in Philadelphia later in 2024. So I don't think that's actually accurate though, because apparently they're saying that filming started, and that was reported on the 1st of this month. Anyways, that's kind of besides the point. My point is Always Sunny's still running. And this is a show that the first episode was talking about abortion. And the two guys are just trying to sleep with a bunch of people at these abortion rallies because they found out that if you agree with the women there, they're like immediately down to have sex with you, And so they're both playing this side of like whether they're open to abortion or not, because they're just trying to they're just trying to sleep with all these women. And so I think it's so funny that like this show still is going on. And I know for a fact that later in this, like later seasons still have, jokes and bits that are going deep into that level of like, whoa, this is, could be very offensive to certain people. But like, it's going on. It's
probably because of the fact that it's gone on for so long that they don't have a convenient way of ending it, because you have a couple ways of getting like some form of a reward off of something being offensive nowadays. And it's like Mr. Beast. The only way to actually take him down was to pile on everything as quickly as you possibly could and get as much as you possibly could. And that's what happened. And I mean, in a matter of like 2-3 weeks, Mr. Beast was just stacked as this horrible person. And so in this case, they need a lot to go off of, and they'd have to go through a lot of people to do it. So it's probably not ever going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. I mean, people are still going on Family Guy, and obviously they haven't I don't think they'll ever cancel Family Guy for being offensive or anything like that.
It did also get worse, though, because even though the show's still going, Seth MacFarlane pandered. He sold out. So the episode started to get safer. The jokes started to get safer, or they only targeted one side instead of being more well-rounded.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
But yeah. I mean, the Mr. Beast thing is a little different. I think as stuff goes further on, maybe enough people will wake up. But yeah, he still gets nutty views. Nobody watched his last video. He went on Chris Hemsworth, his YouTube channel, to work out with Chris Hemsworth. No one heard about it.
I'd never heard of it.
Exactly, yeah. It's
just the whole thing with Chris, or was there other stuff?
It wasn't like a normal Mr. Beast video. I think because it was on Chris Hemsworth's main channel.
No, sorry, I'm talking about what everyone's mad about him for. Because I know there's been like some things about him. Like I know some people are getting mad at him for only building wells in Africa or something like that, but not like doing more for them there.
So basically what happened, from the way I understood it, is people figured out that he staged a lot of his videos. And for one, I partially don't blame him, because when you have a lot of videos like that, it makes it very hard to make very entertaining content for that long. So you have to find specific people. But it's like, even then, he's still going through a giant pool of specific people to weed out everybody else that's not worth it. So it's like, okay, I could skip over a couple of those.
Yeah.
Second, he had like his ex-girlfriend come out and just try and pile crap on top of that, and she was found bogus anyways.
We could, the list is pretty long. We go on the Mr. Beast thing forever, but the short of it is videos are staged, and that's a problem because a lot of states you can't host a lottery type thing that involves children, and he was doing that. There's a lot of dodgy tax stuff that's going on with him, obviously, because the money he makes, he's gonna do that. And then the Chris thing. That's kind of like the bulk of it. I'm sure there's other stuff, Soupy, but like the girlfriend thing, I didn't know about that. But
yeah, sorry, we don't need to dive into this. I only had heard of the Chris thing, like people trying to cancel him through the fact.
So that's why I was kind of saying, like, everybody just tried to pile as much crap as they possibly could on top of it.
Yes,
because they needed
I think those are all fair. I think the tax thing should be looked into, and I think the staging videos thing should be looked into. But yeah. Weird stuff. Anyways, Soupy, did you try the frickin' Coke Oreos?
I did.
All right. Well, for our 2 listeners of the Hard R Show, we're instituting our first segment with Soupy, mainly Soupy. It's called "What Happened to My Country." All right. Premise of this segment is something came out, or something that bugs us that is ridiculous. We just ask ourselves, what happened to my country? So take it away.
So for starters, I didn't even hear about the Coke Oreos from anywhere on my end. Garrett, a buddy of mine, sent me and one of my buddies a picture of these Oreos. And the thing is I've gotten a lot of pictures from this guy of just like concept things. So there was a little bit of a doubt that it didn't even exist. It did. So Coke Oreos just do exist. They came out. They only came out to like Walmart and Amazon for where you had to purchase them. I ended up trying them out last weekend, and after looking at the way that they made them, they put the Pop Rocks in the filling to give it the, like the bubbly sensation type thing. And each cookie layer was a different flavor. This Oreo, weirdly enough, it's not like bad, but it's not good. It's one of those things that is just more of like, why did we make this?
Yeah, it's like, this is such a weird collab. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, but it is still kind of odd.
All like candies and things like that, that's the most confusing one for me. Like, why a cookie of all types and things? Like, a hard candy makes sense because you can... I mean, they've been doing it forever. It's like the root beer barrels. The little hard candies. They taste like root beer. It makes sense. So, it was just weird.
Did you try the Coke?
So, it was kind of on a sweeter end than normal Coke is.
Right. I thought it tasted more like the... I tried them both as well. I thought it tasted more like the cream of the Oreo. I didn't really get any of the cookie from it.
So I tried. I actually tried this. I took it apart and tried each little cookie by itself.
Yeah.
Each layer did have its own flavor, but they made it so that you had to eat the whole Oreo as one to get the whole flavor mix.
Right.
And I'm not much for eating the whole Oreo. I love taking one of the cookies off, eating that first, and then just getting a butt ton of frosting on one cookie.
Yep.
I love it. So when I can't do that, it's kind of upsetting.
The other thing too is I liked the Oreo. I thought it was fine. I think I would have liked it better if they didn't do the Pop Rock thing. Like, if they just did the Coke cookie as part of it, and then the rest of it's just a normal ass Oreo. I think
they tuned it down a little bit, because I can't remember which Oreo it was that they...
It was the Galaxy one that came out.
From what I heard, that one had an insane amount of Pop Rocks in it.
My mom gave me a case for Easter, and I didn't realize it had Pop Rocks in it, and it was a legitimate jump scare. I bit into it. I was like, no! What's happening? Yeah. So yeah, the Coke was just okay. I don't like it as much as the other ones they've done in the past as far as the drink, but it was fine.
Yeah, it was just kind of like why did this ever happen and where did it come from?
Yeah. Also, why Coca-Cola? Why did you just do it in the zero?
They did it in both, didn't they?
I couldn't find it in the normal. I think they just released it in the zero because
I've only seen people with zero sugar.
And that's where I tried it, because I found it at Maverick, and I was driving up to Idaho Falls, and I got it. And I was like, it would probably be better, and it was okay. Like, I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. If they had a normal, because I want to know what it would be like if it was sugar rather than aspartame. But I don't know.
Is it just zero sugar?
That's all I could find, at least. Same with the cans. When they did the mini cans, it was just in the zero. Also, Brian, I finally tried the Beetlejuice Fanta.
Oh my god, dude.
I tried it yesterday.
It's atrociously bad.
Why does it... I don't get why it has to smell like a candle. Like, what's the point in that?
All I know is it tasted to me like if someone had made green apple cough syrup.
Yeah, it was supposed to be green apple, but it was like if green apple was a candle.
Yeah, it was not good. I think the whole point of it was they were trying to make it like spooky, almost like they didn't want to just make green apple Fanta because that's not interesting. So I think they tried to add this like.
I love green apple. I would have been down for it.
Yeah, it would have actually. I think green apple would have actually been pretty good in a Fanta flavor. Like,
oh yeah.
But it was like they like tried to add this like spooky twist to it. And it just is so bad. It did not go well for him at all. I don't know what they were thinking.
So yeah, they did only do the drink as the 0 sugar. The Oreos, however,
I don't think they have 0 sugar Oreos.
no,
Yeah,
they don't.
it was just
but
Coke
like
Oreos.
still weird. Still weird that they didn't have the 0 or the non-zero.
For the collaboration, the Coke Oreo, the cookie is better than the drink. That would be my.
I would have to agree.
Yeah, I'd rather eat the cookie.
It's still weird. Like, I don't know why you would mix those things.
No, it's obviously ridiculous.
I mean, I still found it hilarious when like the Ghost drinks came out and it was the Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah,
because that one actually made sense because you have the fruity flavors.
Yeah, you start getting into weird territory when you start mixing stuff with chocolate. Where were we? We were at a grocery store and it was birthday cake Hershey's. Do you guys remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
It's like they get too wild with all of this.
The other thing was the smell of those Oreos. Like at first, the buddy of mine opened up the package and he was probably a good 5-ish feet away. The second the package opened, you could smell the Oreos.
Yep.
They were so strong.
Oh no. Alright. I just looked up to see if there was any other like random food products releasing. So apparently Dr. Pepper is releasing a limited edition soda that's supposed to be hot.
No.
Wait, that's supposed to be what?
A spicy drinks.
We're getting another
no.
Yeah. That's actually a good one to bring up for what happened in my country. Stop making soda spicy. The raspberry spiced Coke was not good. The Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew was a Geneva Convention war crime. Stop. It's not
ruined Mountain Dew.
Like it ruined Mountain Dew, which is hard to do because most of the flavors end up being pretty decent unless it has to do with Christmas. And
that's a fair statement. Yeah. I like the way that statement was put. Because holy crap, dude, Ginger Snap and Fruit Quake were not okay.
Oh my goodness, those were so bad.
Yeah, spicy Dr. Pepper is a war crime and should not be allowed in my country.
Look, Dr. Pepper, like, you guys aren't going to ever hear this, but just don't release any new flavors. Just bring back the dark berry Dr. Pepper and leave it indefinitely. We don't need new flavors. Just bring back the we'll say second best flavor, because obviously normal Dr. Pepper is still the GOAT. But dark berry Dr. Pepper is the best. Dr. Pepper.
Here's the thing, though. They might bring it back for the new Jurassic World.
They better, and if they do, I'm buying as many cases as the store has.
On top of it, I'm actually extremely excited for the fact that they changed the rating from PG-13 to R.
For the new one?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear this.
Did they really? Oh, look at that. Soupy's got the movie news. Yeah.
If it actually sticks, if it sticks as being rated R, it might be one of the better Jurassic.
Yeah,
like
R
movies.
Maybe.
Because I think it still make a horrible story. But here's the thing: you go and watch the Spinosaurus in the originals. That Spinosaurus knew exactly what it was doing. It tracked them down for a fat amount of time. On top of it, the scene where they're all just sitting at the fence, and then they just turn around and it's just standing there. Because as Patrick said, it's just standing there menacingly. And it is. It doesn't do anything until they move. I would love to watch as this dinosaur just destroys a bunch of people. Because they would. It's not just a simple, here's the T-Rex, it goes over and it picks up the, dude in the outhouse type of scene. No. You want to watch as it proceeds to bite down with the amount of force that it rips the body in half and throws the lower half away. That's the scary part with dinosaurs, and they'll never show it.
It does make logical sense. If you're going to do a dinosaur movie, that would be, especially one where they have taken over the whole world, and now it's just, which, if you think about it, this new one is essentially the same thing as what the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes movie was.
Yeah.
Now they own everything, and now humans are the minority that have to try and live.
And they bully the humans, you know.
Yep, and Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, but it's a weird tangent, but and we can get more into it, but we moral of the story, stop collaborating chocolate and soda, and stop making soda spicy, and Soupy is against interracial marriage. This has been What Happened to My Country. All right. So, let's see. Agatha All Along. You guys see anything on this?
I haven't seen anything until you showed it to me today. And after looking at it, it's just an abomination.
You would think, you know what's funny? I watched the little promo video. It is the exact same interview that they did before Acolyte. And we all saw how that went. It was the lowest rated Star Wars show, and they canceled it after one season. They literally, before the show came out, went up to the showrunners, and they always get the gayest guy to do it, and the lead actors, and are like, this is the gayest Marvel show ever. Just like they did with Acolyte. Same exact thing. And we were talking about this with Spider-Man 4 last episode. You would think that at some point you learn a lesson from something. And yet, here we are. Agatha All Along is just gay. Whole thing is gay. And nobody's gonna watch it. We'll see how the ratings unfold, but
people are gonna watch it. That's the thing.
Yeah. The same amount of people who watch Acolyte are gonna watch it.
I mean, people watched Rings of Power when they shouldn't have.
Yeah, but even then, that's already dropped off. Just like it did with season 1, if not more so.
That's because, you know, when you take orcs, things bred for killing and destroying things, and are like, oh, look, now they have kids, and they're trying to be all lovey-dovey. It just doesn't work. That's not how orcs are. That's not how they were written in the story either.
They just take all of that, and they do whatever they want, make it gay, whatever. And I've heard that in the comic books there is a gay character at one point. But here's the thing. My other question is, why are we putting money into shows for a company that is made for normies? Disney is made for normies. And making full-on shows and movies about characters that don't sell as many comics as the legacy characters. And turning them, so at large, nobody's heard of. Characters no one's heard of. And making an entire show out of it. Like, I never even finished WandaVision. I think, isn't Agatha like a side character in WandaVision?
So she's like a...
Kind of.
She's like her neighbor.
Yeah, a neighbor or something, yeah.
The entire time. And she's basically... I can't remember her entire motive.
She is a witch. So, Scarlet Witch, I mean, witches.
Right.
From my understanding of watching the show, she is the Scarlet Witch. Has extra powers, is just a stronger form of a witch, everything like that. Agatha tries to take said powers. And so they just kind of slid her in as the side thing in the show.
Okay.
To take it from her.
And from what I've heard, the plot of the Agatha All Along is at the end of WandaVision, Wanda's taken her witch powers, and now she's trying to get them back through some witch program. And she like reaches out to a bunch of witches and that she knows to help her.
And that's just another lesson, like another lesson that was never learned. Why do we make stuff that requires so much homework? It's like, why do all of the movies that in phase 4 and on, it's like, well, did you see Loki season 2? Then you won't know what's going on at all. So if you didn't watch WandaVision, you won't have any idea. I mean, you'll probably be able to pick it up pretty quick, but...
Well, I think that's because they want people to feel like they need to watch all their things, even the crappy projects, in order to understand the projects that they actually care about. If you feel like you need to watch Loki so you can understand the new Spider-Man movie, you're going to watch, like, people are going to watch Loki to understand the new Spider-Man. You know?
Yeah. It's just you shouldn't. Like, that's a stupid thing to set up.
There's no way. There's no way. This person said they got to watch the first 4 episodes of Agatha, and it has the same vibes as WandaVision. Well, here's the thing. WandaVision wasn't a great show to begin with.
No.
I mean, nobody asked for it anyways, but...
No.
I felt like it was fine until it took a twist that I was like, wait, this is pointless now.
Yeah. It's, is she even in it? Did anyone confirm if Elizabeth Olsen is in it?
No. She's not in it.
It's just Aubrey Plaza?
Let's see.
Well, at least there's been no confirmation that she's in it. So,
okay.
She might appear in the last couple episodes.
See. No.
But if people have only seen the first 4 episodes, she might make an appearance in the last. Like, I could see it being like a finale thing, but I seriously doubt it. I don't know if they're planning on bringing her character back or not.
Yeah.
Who knows at this point?
I guess it also probably just depends on budget and all of that. Or she'll have, we know it's Marvel, so maybe it's like a cameo or an after credits thing.
I think Aubrey Plaza's character is supposed to be not like the bad, but kind of the big bad.
Sure.
So I think Aubrey Plaza's character is going to be
she's going to be the big gay bad.
Yeah, I think she'll be the last character that they introduce, kind of type thing.
Yeah. Well, nice. As well, at least we will have a show that we're going to watch. So Penguin also comes out at the same time, because don't they both come out tomorrow? Or no, Agatha came out today, and Penguin comes out tomorrow. So that's going to be funny to see.
Penguin is tomorrow.
Huh? Yeah, Penguin's tomorrow. That's going to be funny. It's going to be similar dynamic to how they released Rings of Power Season 1 and House of Dragon Season 1 at the same time. And the ratings speak for themselves and the reviews speak for themselves. So that's actually going to be a really funny thing to watch. Penguin versus Agatha.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So yeah, next episode, I think we're gonna talk about Penguin, because we'll have watched it. They're doing weekly episodes, and then we're seeing Megalopolis. So
yep, new Adam Driver movie. So we'll talk about those. We'll also talk. I think we'll be talking at least about the new Penguin episode as they come out.
So we'll get episode 1 tomorrow. So that's pretty good.
And then beginning of October, we'll also have Joker.
And Joker, yeah. A lot of good stuff coming down the pike. So that's awesome.
Yep. I did also want to say, good. I'm not sure if either one of you guys saw. Apparently, Marvel's been in talk with Sony, to kind of going back to last week's episode about Spider-Man. And they're trying to work out a deal for Spider-Man to show up in more than just his own movies.
Tom Holland?
Yep.
What do you mean? Like have his character appear in other superheroes movies?
Yep. So like Daredevil, they'll probably...
Oh, well, they did that for Civil War.
Yeah, but that was kind of like an Avengers movie. Like, I'm saying like movies with like Hawkeye season 2, they'd have Spider-Man show up in that randomly.
Oh, yay.
Stuff like that.
Where it's him for
showing
Disney.
Up in things where it makes no sense for him to show up.
Okay. Sweet. So more Memba berries.
Yep.
I remember. Yeah.
So I just need to stop.
It
just needs to stop.
Such a flawed path of logic. Just because someone, a character, or even an actor is in something does not equal good. Like if you're interested in looking into something or seeing something, look at who's making it. That is the big key. Follow directors way more than you follow actors or characters, because very clearly, whether it's an Easter egg or a cameo, like we were all glazing the idea of Harrison Ford being in Star Wars, and look what they did right away.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it doesn't equal good just because something or someone is in it. Or even if CGI is cool, the writing matters, and the director matters, and the story. So, They'll probably put Spider-Man and She-Hulk.
And this is why we have Minecraft.
This is why we have the Minecraft movie. This is why a portal is going to open in Spider-Man 4, and Martin Scorsese and Jack Black are going to walk through the Doctor Strange portal. And that's all going to happen, and they're never going to learn.
Yep. We'll see Robert Downey Jr. We'll see Robbie Downey Jr. say, like, I hate you 3000.
Yeah.
Right? They thought they killed him. You know.
Okay, but Captain then we don't get to see the picture after the fact of going absolute cinema.
And then freaking Robert Downey Jr.'s character from Tropic Thunder is going to step through a portal and be like, what's going on here? So that's going to be fun.
Yeah. And then the Marvel Captain Falcon is going to be like, he's standing right behind me.
No, it's Captain America.
It's Captain Falcon.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I forgot that that's coming out. That's, why did you remind me that movie exists?
Because somebody has to remember. Yeah. Somebody has to.
Yep. Somebody has to remember.
Yeah. It's just like this is the second or third time they've done this where they name a movie the character, but the character's not in it. Black Panther 2, no Black Panther. Mad Max, no Mad Max. And now a Captain America movie without Captain America. So cool stuff.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Needs to stop.
And we're getting John Wick without John Wick because it's Ana de Armas.
Yeah, that one I'm actually really nervous about.
Yeah. Oh, I actually do have good news on that front. Did you know that they're making, and it's Chad Stileski, so it's the actual director. Through Lionsgate, it'll probably go on, I don't know what service it'll go on, probably Paramount Plus or something. Mm-hmm. They're making a John Wick show, but it's actually Keanu Reeves' John Wick.
Have they confirmed what the plot is? I'm assuming.
No, it's super early. It's super early.
I'm assuming it'd probably be a prequel to the first movie.
I was thinking that too, but I'm also kind of wondering if it's actually like the reverse of something that Downton Abbey did, where instead of you have a show and then the last episode is a movie, kind of like Breaking Bad. I wonder if they're doing that in reverse, just so they can capitalize on the money. 4 John Wick movies, and then the show is the end.
But here's the thing.
I don't feel like that fits.
I wish John Wick just ended at the 4th movie, because it is one of the few series of movies that successfully made it to 4, and they were all a good movie.
Yeah.
I think they're all at least decent. I think they've progressively gotten, I don't want to say worse, because it's not that they got worse. In my opinion, they've gotten more, it feels like, unrealistic.
Yeah, well, all you have to do is compare it to everything else that was coming out around it.
Yeah.
I'd consider that a pretty successful franchise up to this point.
Oh, for sure. My problem with them is, like, in the 5th one, there was so many moments where I was like, okay, you're not getting up out. You're not getting up from this. At least this quickly.
Yeah.
Like when he jumps out of 3 stories, lands on a van, and keeps running.
Yep.
So, like, I think what's happened is they've gone. It got to a point where they just kind of went like too far, and they needed to like top each.
Okay, but here's the funny thing, because seeing him fall down all of those stairs, I get the symbolism behind it. Like, he's worked his way all the way up to this chance, and then just got beaten all the way down. It's just the weird thing in my brain. It just goes right back to wait.
Hot Rod.
Yes, Hot Rod.
Yeah,
of him just falling down the hill.
Yep.
My brain just mixes the two at this point.
Yeah, I remember seeing that the first time and thinking the same thing.
So yeah, I think those movies, they're still
it's just unrealistic.
I'll keep an eye on it and see if it's a prequel to the first one.
I just feel like a TV show to end a movie series feels weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it has the same like bang effect, the same like a TV show going in and saying, okay, we're making 3 movies because it's going to be bigger budget, bigger, longer, longer plot. through the entire thing and everything like that. Obviously, a TV show, you can dig a little deeper into things, gives you more time for like to add substance and, you know, details around story information. But I just feel like it'd be kind of weird if they were like, all right, you know, John Wick 6 split up into 6 episodes, you know, whatever. So
okay, so I just pulled it back up. I was actually right the first time, which may be a good or bad thing. So the show's working title is John Wick Under the High Table, and it takes place, so the first episode picks up right after the end of John Wick 4.
Okay.
And yeah, it's going to have Chad Stileski. He is involved. He's the director, so...
So this... Because let's see, there's 4 movies, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this will be basically in place of the 5th one.
Yeah, I don't know if Keanu Reeves will be in the show. He is a producer on it, though. He is... I
would assume so.
If they're making what it says here is, after John Wick 4, he left the world of the High Table in a tenuous position, and a collection of new characters will look to make a name for themselves, while some of the franchise stalwart characters remain committed to the old world. So that's probably guys like Ian McShane or
Winston. It'll probably, you know what? It'll probably follow the daughter of the
I'd be down for that. Yeah. She was really good in the 4th one.
Yeah, she was good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Maybe the black dude with the dog.
You're not talking about you're talking about the
in the 4th one, the guy who had like the journal and the dog.
Oh, the hunter.
Yeah.
Or whatever his name was. Yeah.
So then here it says, currently Keanu Reeves is attached as an executive producer with no acting component. He is said to be very hands-on with the project. So,
well, I guess all we can do is wait and see then. I mean,
yeah. You know what? If they're going to do that, they should just also make a John Wick 5 and actually finish it. But I don't know.
I would assume if they're making this and John Wick's not going to have, I could see 2 things happening. Either one, they do a show in the middle of this with those characters, and then they do a John Wick, and this counts as like 5, or, you know, an in-between point between this and 5. And then 5 is John Wick coming back and like helping overthrow the High Table or something like that. Or he's actually dead at the end of 4, and 5 is setting up the future of what he's left behind. And there's no plans after that other than potentially making movies with the characters in the show later on, depending on the success of the show.
Which all of that is going to be very cautiously pessimistic about, because I hate when good stuff just gets franchised to hell.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about here.
Because the show that they did on Peacock that had Mel Gibson,
the Continental,
Continental, it was okay, but none of the people involved with the movie were actually involved with the show. But this show is actually, it's got Keanu involved, Chad is involved, so this is a little different, but yeah. So
guess we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So any hoodles? We got Penguin and Megalopolis, and we will go over both of those on the next one.